Okay, so here's some of the features that you're looking for that are typical in a blog. Reverse chronological text posts, audio and video. Now, a blog roll, and I'm going to show you a slide of a blog, my blog, and where all these things are in terms of where on a blog. But a blog roll is simply a a group of links to other blogs that you want to pay attention to. That's the best way I can say it, is that it's blogs that you read, and what that does for you is it helps people know who you are in the realm of expertise. So, for example, if you're reading, if you're a political campaigner and you're reading all kinds of blogs about other political campaigns, people say, oh, well, they're up to date, they know stuff because they're connected to that sphere of influence. So you'll see on a blog roll, you'll see all the different blogs that those people are paying attention to and really start reading. So it creates some credibility. It's a credibility kind of thing. Comments, obviously you see comments. You see trackbacks. Trackbacks are automatic, where they are links that go back to your site or pieces of information that you want to be virally back to your site. Pinging, I'm going to talk about pinging in a moment. Archives is very important. In other words, it's indexed and archived, and it gives you a track of history that's very important. And then you have categories, and I'll talk a little bit about categories. And then the other thing is that clean URLs. Sometimes, I don't know whether you notice that if you look up something, the URL is about as long as the title. That's not good. What you want to do is you want to have the shortest URL possible. And there's software out there that you can actually have that converts long URLs to short URLs, and that's important to have. Again, most of some of these things are for SEO, if you really want to give it legs. So here's my blog, just to give you an idea of what my blog is. So from an SEO perspective, okay, the title bar, the keywords, and any of the headlines, etc., are very important. So if you're looking to do any optimization, you really should keep that in mind, that you need a piece of software, a blog software, that allows you to put in those elements. And that's the key, is not every piece of software out there allows you to put in titles, keywords. So from an SEO perspective, when you think about what you're going to blog about, you also should think about the keywords, and you should think about what you're trying to accomplish, and you should also think about how people are going to search for that. So there's a lot of pre-work that you need to do to write a blog post that's going to be viral, that's going to really work for you. This social media quick links, you may not be able to see that, but social media quick links are when you have a link back to, if somebody likes the article, then you may want to click back to Dig or some of the social media sites, Delicious, Flickr, any of those sites that are social sharing sites. And if you have those, the little logos on the site and a link back to those sites, it makes it very easy for people to bring it back to that. So that's really what you want, is you want to make it as easy for people as possible to have it travel. If they like your article, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to link back to other people. A permalink, basically your website sits on its own page, and it's also integrated into your site. So if you didn't have a permalink, after it's archived as the blog post gets old, it would just disappear. I mean, it still is archived somewhere, but it's not, it's not in your archive. So you want to put a permalink on so that it actually is archived. That's the simplest way. And then, of course, you want to have the RSS feeds are all category. The more categories you have, and while you're setting up your blog post, you want to think about what categories it's going to be put in, because you set that up. So the more RSS feeds you can transfer your data to, the more categories you have that's related to the post, the more it can travel. So again, we're looking at how do you make it travel. And the recent entries, they put down what you can do is, as your blog if you do a lot of posts, it's going to be off the blog page. So you can take your most popular post. Let's say you have an article that's that you felt everybody read and it was really good. You would put it in recent entries because they may not be visible, but you can put a link there so that people can go back to those old archived ones if they're very popular. Because you want to have that all on page 1. Now, blogs are not for text only. Jim was nice enough to videotape my 495 Expo presentation, so it's a video. So we posted it on my blog. Now, the key, though, when you post a video of any sort, is that no search engine can read video or pictures or any of that stuff. So you have to write what we call show notes. What's it about? Make sure your show notes have your keywords in there and it's tagged correctly and you have all of that, because that's what, and also if a person comes to your video, you don't want them to have to look at the whole video to understand what it's about. So if you have really good show notes, it says, oh, this is what it's about, I really want to see that video. So it gives them, the opportunity to see what you have there, but it also is good for SEO, because if you didn't do that, it would be invisible. Okay, so remember that blogs are not text only. Going along with that is, this is AMP's podcast. And a podcast, again, has to be tagged because, again, it's a piece of audio file that, that could be invisible. So, again, you have show notes. So you say, okay, this show is going to be about this, 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 and this, and keyword rich. Keep keywords in mind of how you think people are going to be looking for it, and tag it correctly and put it into your, into your podcast and your blog, and then you have all of that done correctly, so that it then becomes much more viral.